Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news core data is actually more positive than the politics and views of what lies ahead. Firstly, in the US, non-farm payrolls rose by 223,000 in May, exceeding estimates handily. The jobless rate fell to 3.8%, the lowest rate in 18 years. Wages rose 2.7%, but their participation rate barely moved at a low 62.7%. And the release of American PMI indexes over the weekend brought mixed results. The closely watched ISM one was up strongly to 58.7, while the more international market one was down slightly to 56.4 in the US in May. Take your pick. New orders for American-made goods fell more than expected in April, weighed down by falling demand for aircraft and machinery. But other than for aircraft, the numbers actually look quite okay. As part of the preparation for the G7 summit in Quebec later this week, the G7 finance chiefs issued a rare rebuke of a member nation, saying American trade actions undermine global economic confidence and threaten the effectiveness of their Western alliance. And Canada's growth now exceeds 3%, making it the fastest growing G7 country. But the IMF is warning that those trade tensions put it under serious risk. In Australia, CBA has agreed to pay a record fine of $700 million to settle its AUSTRAC case. CBA says it submitted 19 million reports to AUSTRAC, including 44,000 tagged as suspicious during the period of the claim, but they missed 53,000 through a coding error in the ATMs, and that included 149 reports that should have been tagged as suspicious. It is these that attracted the $700 million resolution. In Australia, data out yesterday claims that retail sales grew a bit more strongly than expected. For the year to April, they were 2.7% higher than the year to April 2017. They would have been higher, but were dragged down by declines by department stores. And Melbourne has replaced Sydney as the worst performing national capital for residential property prices, falling about 5% in the past 3 months, according to analysts at investment bank Morgan Stanley. And the US Treasury 10-year yield is rising again, now at 2.94%. That's up 4 basis points on the day. The Chinese 10-year is at 3.67%, up 2 basis points, while the New Zealand equivalent is unchanged, of course, at 2.77%. Gold is little changed overnight and just a touch under $1,292 an ounce. And oil prices have slipped back again by another $1 a barrel to be just over $64.50 a barrel, but the benchmark is now just on $75.50 a barrel. The $11 discount for US crude is holding, indicating a glut of American oil that is too much for their infrastructure to get to an export port. In China, about 28 airlines have started adding fuel surcharges to their domestic fares. And the Kiwi dollar will start today more than 0.5 cent higher at 70.4 US cents on a slipping greenback. On the cross rates, we're a little weaker at 92 Aussie cents, while the Aussie has gained a bit more, but little changed against the euro, just on 60 euro cents. That puts the TWI at 73.2, which is actually a 6-week high. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.